Right, so this is being recorded on a Thursday. I'm currently watching the Wolves-Arsenal game, so when you start seeing me get upset, you know that Arsenal's losing.
Luckily, your eyes.
What's that? Yeah, I know. Everything looks great from here.
Those rose-tinted glasses.
Yeah, I was going to say rainbow-tinted glasses, but there you go.
Yeah,
exactly. But there you go. So, yeah, now the African Cup of Nations is gone, the Premier League's back, and do you know what? I mentioned earlier I was trying to think of subjects to talk because sometimes Premier League is just easy to say. I don't want to end up being like Mika Richards, just explaining what he's seeing.
But he does it with a smile, at least.
Oh, he's just constantly smiling, isn't he? He's too jacked, isn't he? Like it's almost distracting.
He's huge.
I like Mika Richards. He's funny. Like even he was on Celebrity Gogglebox. He was funny. Like he's got a contagious laugh.
I think that's it though, because he's not funny. His laugh is just like it's one of the ones which you catch on. But what he says is dull.
I think Ian Wright is a bit like that. Ian Wright's got a funny laugh as well, but he's not that exciting when you actually listen to him talk.
I remember betting on Ian Wright for I'm a Celebrity, get me out of it, thinking he'd win. I thought he's got it in the bag. And then he realised he's an absolute fucking arsehole.
As soon as he gets hungry,
piece of shit.
As soon as he gets hungry, he's a wanker.
Do you know what I would say about the African Cup of Nations, though? The one talking of presenters, did you see Jermaine Genius was the sort of main headline presenter on it for a lot of the games?
No, the coverage was pretty poor at the start. So on like BBC iPlayer, they didn't even have like much punditry. The game started one game started 5 minutes into the game, and but yeah, the coverage was pretty poor. So
well, Genius in the latter rounds when it was on BBC, I think BBC Three, maybe they put it on or whatever it was. And Genius was doing the Gary Lineker of it, and it was quite funny because he really struggled a bit. Like he wasn't that bad. Of all of them, he did all right, but it felt really unnatural to have Genius being the guy asking the questions. It was really weird. So I'm glad
he didn't put on an accent or anything, did he?
No, put on some ears. No.
Oh, dear me. So the subject that I had mentioned earlier that I thought would be interesting to talk about. I think it might have been the West Ham game, it might have been Jared Bowen, but I was just thinking there's not that many strikers at the top end, and we can talk about strikers, goal scorers. The position's kind of a bit weird now with some of these players. I just think that the middle class of strikers at the moment is really, really good. And I'm not sure how long it's been since that. I always thought it used to be a couple good strikers, and then you have your fucking Doyles and Earnshaws and what have you. There doesn't seem to be too many of those.
I mean, I think it's less a case of the average players have got better and more that the top players have got there are less of them. So there's no one to compare them to. There's no Agueros, Torreses, there's none. There's just none of those players around.
Yeah, do you know what? I actually did some research for this as well, and
nice.
I was looking at who would we call like those strikers we mean? So Antonio, Dennis, Bowen, and we're slightly over halfway of the season. So if we do a complex maths and double their goals at the minute, they would end on about 15, 16 goals, which when I was looking at old years would put them about 6th or 7th in the top goal scorer list. And this year that would probably do the same. But the people ahead of them are Salah, Jota, Son. So not your typical number 9s. So it seems like they're better number 9s than in previous years. It's just in previous years there was players who scored very similar amount of goals, just ahead of them was other number 9s.
I think also there's an element that Kane and Vardy, who are the two have been the two outstanding English strikers in the league for the last few years and are always up there. Vardy's been injured most of the season and Kane's just not been at it because we all know he doesn't want to be there. So I think that hasn't helped. But yeah, it's exactly what Mark said. The style of play is a bit different. All the goals now come from the wingers and the overlapping runners, and the number 9s are now needed to be sort of almost like old school number 9s a bit, hold the ball up a bit more, like the Wakehorse of the world. I think Burnley have waited so long it's come back around, the style of football.
Well, but I guess for me, I actually think there's less strikers that are like that and seem to be a bit technically better because, like, if you go through it, Antonio's not that type of striker you just talked about. Dennis has got something to him.
He is. Antonio, well, that's the thing about Antonio. In your mind, he's a right back. And you're like, he's technical. And
I'm not.
He's not. No, but Antonio, all he does all game is he holds up the ball and he lets runners go by him. He's not like, he's not the guy that's playing on the shoulder.
Put him to the side then, like, in terms of the middle class strikers I'm talking about, or just the strikers that we have, I think are better than maybe you're giving them credit for, because I think that Crystal Palace seems to have a few good strikers. Southampton have a couple good strikers. Because I really like what's his name, Broja. Broja. But I think he's going to be a quality striker. I think he's someone to watch. You know, Shea Adams is a good striker. I'm not talking about these strikers that get 20 plus goals every season. I'm thinking more like, you know, a few times we joke, but I think it's an honest assessment. If you've got a striker that can get into double digits, like 12 to 15 goals, you're going to have a good chance of staying up. There never used to be a lot of those, or there'd be strikers like Doyle, who just wouldn't score anything, Earnshaws and people like that. But it's quite hard to find them. The only one I can think of is Timo Pukki. Other than that, from the teams that are above that, I think they've got genuine strikers.
Well, there was always Danny Ings, wasn't there? And Benteke had his moment in the sun a few years ago. Chris Wood had a great season last year. Like Jimenez has had his years where he's been brilliant. I think it's, again, a bit of recency bias just because Lukaku's not playing, Kane's not playing well, Vardy's out, like Jimenez isn't doing his thing, Ings isn't playing, there's no Aubameyang anymore. Like all these players that were like the top strikers for the top teams, there's no Aguero, like Gabriel Jesus doesn't play, Liverpool don't have a striker. Like that's why I think, because there just aren't any playing. So all that we're seeing is these sort of middle of the range ones. And we think they're doing well, but as Mark says, they're not scoring 20, 30 goals a season. They're just doing what they should do.
And actually, when you look at the top goal scorers over the last few years, top 10 each year, it's funny because each year there's a random player who does really well. So looking back, here's some names.
Chris Wood got like 15 goals for me, didn't he, last season? Or something stupid?
Well, I've gone a bit further back.
Andy Johnson.
06, 07 was Benny McCarthy was the second top goal scorer in the league. Classic. Yeah, I think Andy Johnson.
He was good.
Andy Johnson got relegated with Palace, didn't he? And he got 25 goals or something.
Yeah, the following year, the fourth top goal scorer was Roque Santa Cruz. Year after that, there was a few in the top 10 that were random. So Bong Lahore, Kevin Davis, Darren Bent. And if you look,
Darren Bent's not random.
Yeah,
Darren Bent, Peter Odemwingie, if you remember him.
Yeah.
Like he was the following season. So there's always like a random player who pops up. So then you had Benteke that one year, he was great. Daniel Sturridge had that year, although he was for Liverpool, but just behind him was Wilfred Boney.
Remember him at Swansea?
Yeah, he's a great player, then went to City.
I still remember that one
Super Jack.
The flip flap he did through someone's legs. It was the dirtiest thing I've ever seen on a football pitch ever. I'll never forget that.
The year later, Charlie Austin.
QPR.
Yeah, so it was only sort of 15, 16 was the first one which I was like, the top five are recognisable. But then further down in that list is Igalo for Watford. So there's always been a striker who's been burst into that top five, strangely enough. We don't have that this year. Maybe Dennis has a chance.
But maybe Dennis, probably not with Hodgson now, but maybe Antonio will be it.
Yeah, I was going to say, who's the top goal scorer so far, isn't it? Vardy, Ronaldo, Dennis, Antonio. Morpé's a good striker now.
I mean, is he? I think he's a terrible striker.
Yeah.
I always thought you rated him, to be fair.
No,
what about Wilson?
Watkins? I think Wilson is actually if Wilson was fit, he'd easily get 20 goals a season, easily. But he's just never fit.
Yeah, I don't know about Dennis. We'll see how Watford do. But Antonio's got a good chance of making top five.
What about Watkins? Do you think he's a good striker?
Whenever I've seen him, no. But he's young enough to prove me wrong. But when I've watched him, I saw Villa live this year, and watched a few Villa games, and I find him and Tyrone Mings. Whenever I've watched them, I'm like, how are these two anywhere near the England?
Don't get me started on Tyrone Mings, boy.
Yeah,
he's
so when
bad.
I've watched Villa, but granted, they have had an upturn since Gerrard's been there. So
I have to say though, Coutinho. Yes, I watched the game. The Villa game. I don't
New
know if
stars.
Oh my God! What? And the guy's not lost it at all.
You know what? I wanted to say that, Jim. Has he found his level? Like, he just looked immense.
It's just World Cup year. It's World Cup year's got all these players wanting to just turn up, and they know they have to play to get in their World Cup squad.
It was just that like he was clearly the most talented player on that pitch, and it was all noticeable in that one touch for the second goal where the ball's coming to him and he just sort of throws the defender the wrong way, one touch, and then plays this amazing pass for the goal. It was just pure class. You know, there was no one else on the pitch that would have done that.
Having Gerrard as his manager is probably so good because he played with him. Like, the players know instantly what to do when Coutinho's got the ball, and it's like they already have a response for when he comes deep and things like that. You know, Gerrard probably teaches them exactly what to do straight off the bat.
Yeah, Gerrard talks a lot about the years when he was under Brendan Rodgers, and he says he thinks Brendan Rodgers is one of the best managers he's ever had, and he talks about that team. You know, Coutinho was. I don't think was Coutinho under Rodgers. I think he was.
Yeah.
So it's part of that. So it'll all be in his mind exactly how to play and how he wants to play.
In fairness to Gerrard, Gerrard wasn't blessed with the best managers throughout his career, was he?
Well, I mean,
did you not think Gerard Houllier was a good manager?
No, not particularly. Roy Evans might have been just
Benitez.
He had peak Benitez, but that was real anti-football. So he had his best time under Benitez.
Yeah,
but he's not been blessed with like the Klopps and the essentially he missed the Klopp era, which is by far their best manager of his time.
What did we decide about these strikers then? What's the answer, Chris?
No, actually, I think you're playing it down a bit too much, to be fair, because I feel like most teams have got a striker, a decent striker in them, and maybe more than that. And I just think that I don't think it's me looking at the top end and there being no Aguero anymore and Kane not playing as he usually does. I just think that, you know, I enjoy looking at Crystal Palace play because they seem to have one or two strikers that can play now. Edouard's good.
Yeah,
Pookie, I don't know what to make of Pookie. Like, he seems to score sometimes.
Well, like Edouard, right? What team is he really going to get in? Like, above Palace's level, what team is he going to get in?
But that's why I said it's the middle class. We're not talking about the top 3, top 4. When you look at like some of the big sides, you know, Man United, have they really got a striker that's worth their salt anymore? Arsenal definitely haven't got a striker. I mean, come on, all right, come on.
You've got
this is a good question then. So who of the middle class would you be happy if Arsenal signed?
Well, Arsenal are in the middle class, aren't they? If we're talking
because if you look back, like when Man United signed Louis Saha from Fulham, I was happy with that. I was like, oh, that's a good player.
Yeah, I'd be happy if they got Jimenez.
That would be a great signing.
Yeah.
So okay, so there is a couple then. So Jimenez would be one. Some of them are like Bowen.
Danny Ings.
Would you take Danny Ings? He's shown he just can't stay fit.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess the quality, because they're fully fit.
Arsenal are very good at keeping players not fit. So the wants to go as well.
That's true. I mean, I think there's a few there, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Take Wilson.
So we were linked previously with Wilson and Josh King, and I thought, okay, they're relatively solid, but I don't know. Who would I be happy if we signed? I'm just looking at who fantasy classes as a forward, and
don't forget Man United signed Igalo.
And to be honest, that was at a time where we just wanted players who were. Igalo said and did everything fine.
Yeah,
like he was clearly a supporter of the club, but then when he played, he wasn't the best. But I'll take Saint Maximin. There we go. That would be one player I'd look down and I would take.
He was absolutely outstanding for Newcastle this week.
He's been good all season. It's just because he's one of those players you have to take the bad with the good, isn't it? He's gonna there'll be opportunities.
I think he
should have passed and he didn't.
Massively improved his end product. Massively. Like when you look now, you see versus what it was even a year ago. I think there's a real quality player in there.
But that's what the thing with him is that he's not even changed the way he's played. He's just become more clinical.
Yeah,
because it was tough. It was a tough watch. It was a tough watch in the last couple of seasons because he wasn't scoring. So you're like, fucking hell, this guy's wasteful as fuck.
Yeah,
he's so strong and fast at the same time. Like there was a point yesterday in one of the games where he or the day before, and he just literally shrugged off 2 players while sprinting and kept the ball.
Yeah.
Like he's not just a bag of tricks anymore. I think he's a proper player. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Well, they might keep hold of him because they've got so much money now. But old Newcastle, I'm not sure they would have kept hold of him.
yeah. He'll struggle once they get better because like when he beats 4 players and then blasts it into Rosette, his team at the minute would be like, "Oh, well done, you made that run." But once you set the standard a bit higher, like if he was at a top club, they would be like, "No, we expect you to beat the 2 players," and now the expectation goes up. So
Yeah, but that's why he's middle class.
yeah, so he looking down, he would be one I would take.
Do you know who I think's crap? Richarlison.
Yeah,
He's bad.
He is, isn't he? Thank you.
Yeah, he's bad.
Everton on the best though.
Calvert-Lewin's a funny one because we haven't really mentioned him, and he's obviously like, where does he sit? Last season, he was probably in the top 5 of goal scorers last season. Because remember at the start, he scored like 10 in a row. We're like, this guy still won't score more than 15 this season, and he didn't. But because he just can't. But he's still a good striker.
I think he's a funny one because he never was in contention for starting for England. We were all happy with that. You were like, you know what? He is a guy to mix it up. So Chris's favorite quote of "get it in the mixer." He's like, if you are chasing a game, you're like, well, let's just bombard crosses and corners and get the ball in there. He's a good option to bring off the bench. So it does help when a player is like almost looks like they're happy with being the plan B, and that's where for me he sits in.
Yeah, so Everton still need a plan A.
Yeah, it's true. I think that's what they're missing.
The Champions League's back.
Yes. When is it actually back?
It's back this week or next week. Next Tuesday, Wednesday.
I'm not sure I even know what the draw is.
Well, the thing is, that means the Champions League.
Weren't there?
Oh yeah, of course there were. Now I remember. God, that feels like so long ago.
We got to do the Champions League draft.
Okay.
Or should we do Results League first?
Let's do Results League because I don't even remember what the Champions League draw is.
All right. Yeah, that's all right.
Also haven't looked at my Results League, so.
Yeah, points. So your game's going on at the moment. I don't know if you know what the score is, Danny. Liverpool v Leicester.
I do know the score is 0-0.
It's 0-0. There you go. So you're yet to get your points. Mark believed in Everton for some strange reason. Won't do that again. He went 2-1 to Everton, beat Newcastle. That was a shit game. I went Crystal Palace to beat Norwich. I mean, what the fuck?
Norwich 3 in a row, man.
Come on.
Yeah.
7 out of 9 points.
I think we said at the time that Norwich had just gone off the big win when you picked them to lose.
Yeah. And do you know what? Norwich is starting to really look good. Like, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's Dean Smith.
It must be.
Must be. They've got the same players. You're right. Must be. No other reason. But they might stay up.
Well, that means Newcastle going down.
They could go down.
Yeah. Just for the sake of football. Like, we can't have
That'd be fucking class. I would love it.
Yeah.
Do you know I would love it.
Someone get the Keegan video up.
Yeah, I'll put it in the pod. Just put it in there.
Filter on with the headphones and the mic.
Yeah, no, fuck them. I don't know why. I just don't want to be another super team. So, have you guys got games for next week? I've got one.
Go on then.
Do you want me to go?
Yeah.
I'm going to pick Tottenham at home to beat Wolverhampton.
Ooh. That's an interesting choice.
I know. Do you know, I had a really tough time trying to pick one this week. I am on the downswing. I started this game off pretty well, and it's not working out too well for me at the moment. I need to get some easy wins. I thought I had one last time. I think I might have one this time. Tottenham to beat Wolverhampton. I'm going to say 2-0.
It's really quite inconvenient for me that Chelsea are not playing for like forever again now. Because I really
Why?
I still haven't picked them to lose. And I need to find time to do that. Right, who else am I going to pick then? Okay, well, I'm going to go. I'll go in an away fixture. We were just talking about the power of Coutinho. We were just talking about the strength of St. Maximin. I reckon this would be a good game, actually. I'm going to go Aston Villa to win at Newcastle. And I'm going to go for 2-1.
2-1. Aston Villa to beat Newcastle.
Newcastle.
As they say.
I need some away
Mark.
fixture, like 10 points behind Mark.
Well, I am going to go an away fixture. And
What?
this kind of sums
No,
up,
you're not going away. That's so odd.
sums up my feeling at the minute. But I'm going to go with Southampton to beat Man United.
Oh.
And I've just looked at it and I was like, oh, I need Man United to lose. I haven't picked them yet. I so should have done that. That is a perfect opportunity.
And I'm going to go 2-1 to Southampton.
Yeah, that is a really, really good shout. Early kickoff as well.
Early. Oh no! Is it a 12:30 kickoff then?
Yeah, I didn't know that one.
You fucked up, man. You fucked up.
Right, I need to put some money on that game because we all know that's going to happen.
Well, if you do it early enough and then you forget about it, it works, isn't it? It doesn't jinx it that way as long as you forget by kickoff.
So the scores are: Danny is last in 11th place, last with 11 points. I am second with 18 points. Games in hand. Yeah, you've still got 2 games in hand. He's like, but you're literally like Burnley of the league.
Yeah.
Burnley Gazette. And Mark is leading away with 21 points, but we can get it back. He's playing like the away fixtures only. I'm going to try and trickle up with 1 point here, 1 point there. Get there. See if we can do it. Yeah. Champions League draft. So, yeah, last we left it, we'll do the points. Mark is last with 1,955 points. I'm second place with 1,990 points. And Danny is first with 2,055 points. So it's a very, very close game. Low scoring. Let's go. Our teams got eliminated down. So we had teams that got eliminated. We have to whittle down our 14 pot to 3 each. And we get to swap one team. Now, I can't remember, Dan. Can we now pick from any pot when we swap a team?
Ooh. Well, yeah, I guess we have to because otherwise you might not even have one.
Yeah, there's no more pots.
Yeah, I think you can pick anyone. And do we do the person with the least points starts or the most points starts?
The least points on the last round. So we'll just go through the teams that we do have. Danny, you got Man United, Chelsea, Ajax. You had Wolfsburg. They're not in anymore. Mark, Paris Saint-Germain, Salzburg, Man City. You also had Milan. They're not in anymore. I had Bayern Munich, Liverpool, but I had Sheriff and Atalanta. Neither of those are in anymore. I've only got 2 teams, so that's not great for me.
So what happened to the points for getting into the last 16?
You got added and then they got eliminated. No, yeah. All the points are being added up as they are. So, yeah, if you get rid of a team, do what you like. Danny, you got the least amount of points the last round with 515. So you get the first trade. Then it goes me, then it goes Mark. So you can eliminate one of your teams from your list. I think that's pretty obvious. And then you get to switch one of your current teams with another one.
Okay.
The teams that are still in it are Villarreal, Atletico, Inter Milan, Lille, Sporting Lisbon, Real Madrid, Juventus, and Benfica.
This is tough. Well, obviously I'm going to drop Wolfsburg because they're out. So Man United, Chelsea, and Ajax. I'm going to keep Chelsea because they've got Lille and they're experts in Europe. Ajax and Man United. Now, Man United, I've got Atletico, and I mean I know we're both feeling very down about Man United at the moment, but can I see Man United getting past Atletico Madrid? They're also not great this season, but Ajax, Benfica have been really good this season as well. That is a tough. I don't know what to do. I don't really want to pick Real Madrid because they've got PSG. Oh man, this is a big decision.
You can stay where you are. Stick or twist.
I'm gonna twist.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go mad, and I'm gonna remove Man United.
Oh, I knew you weren't a fan.
And I'm gonna swap them for Juventus.
Oh, shocking.
I can really see Juventus going through that time. And Man United that's a really tough time, man. So we always lose the Spanish teams as well, let alone the best Spanish teams.
Mark, is he just the worst Man United fan of all time?
Do you know what? I'm hoping he's so wrong just because it's basically all that's left in our season. When we were talking about being disengaged from football recently, I'm like, well, there's one hope for this season, and that's Champions League football, because there's nothing else like it.
I'd forgotten about the draw, though. I was just looking at the draw thinking, man, we were so unlucky. What a horrible draw we got.
Yeah, well, it could have been PSG, which was the other outcome, weren't it?
Weirdly, I fancy us more against PSG than I would against Atletico. That's weird, but Atletico they're not the team we want to play at all.
No, and PSG are fallible, isn't it? They've shown that.
And PSG you can play on the break and you can get in behind them. Like you just can't. Our style of play is just not going to suit against them. But
Atletico would just go 0-0 first game,
and 1-0,
and then beat
you.
1-0.
The thing is,
I'm wrong, but there you go.
I've got Sheriff Atalanta, so I'm going to drop Sheriff. I'm annoyed, Dan, because I wanted Juventus, and I was hoping you were going to stay with the teams that you've got.
You're getting Man United then.
I know, but I thought you was going to drop Ajax, and I'm surprised you didn't do that. So
Ajax are good, man. They're a great team.
Yeah, so I'm going to pick them up. How about that?
Who, Man United?
Nah, fuck Man United. They're terrible.
So
I'm taking Ajax.
You can't. That's my team.
Danny's got Ajax.
Oh, what did you? Oh,
he dropped Man United.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got to take Man United. I want to take Man United.
Take Benfica. They'll beat Ajax. just go against it.
What am I talking about, Chris?
Fuck Ajax. Go Benfica. Just go.
I know. Maybe I should take Benfica. Everything's a fucking challenge here.
It's tough, isn't it? When you really look at it, it's tough.
Well, I decided earlier on to take Juventus, and you fucking took them.
Yeah, well, that's because it's a good move.
I'm going Benfica.
Wow. Man United are getting killed here. Come on, Mark. You could take him.
Yeah. Well, I must admit it's tough because I've got Salzburg, who I knew would qualify, but unfortunately they got Bayern Munich. So
that's an easy swap.
Yeah, so I won't drag this out. So Salzburg out and Man United in.
Oh,
that's a true fan right there. True fan.
The thing is, in previous years, I'd be like, under Ollie, you don't know what United could turn up. Like we could be great or we could be bad. Yeah. But now Ollie's gone, we're just bad. There's no good times. So I do worry. We've not had
isn't it?
Yeah, we've not had a good game for since pre-season, I think. So
have Arsenal scored, Chris?
Do you know I'm not watching the game? No, they have.
I thought you were watching the game.
No, I need a third screen. I've got us up on Zoom. I've got all my notes for all the tidbits of football knowledge that I impart onto the listeners and to you guys. So yeah, I haven't got enough screens for Arsenal, but they're up, so that's good.
When does that part of the pod start?
It's been happening.
Okay.
Start to finish. Fantasy football. Going out for Mark.
I am full-time All Talk FC admin now.
Mark's account got hacked. I don't know what's going on with this year. I know a few people now that have been hacked.
I know a few people.
So they came out and said, I think because I use a third party app, I use that Fantasy Football Manager.
Yeah.
Fantasy Football said that got hacked.
Right. Okay.
So
I got that too.
Yeah, change your
Maybe
password.
I'm next.
Just change your password. I should have done it before.
You guys looking for any excuse, boy? Just anything. As soon as I'm beating you.
You know what? I think because
Leicester
United
scored.
have been bad,
No, Liverpool scored.
I was half enjoying the chase. Like, I must admit,
You're not out of it. That's one round. Use your wild card. Get back in the game.
it's cost 64 points and use my bench boost. So, and I'm probably going to end up on 2 points this week. So
bench boost is pretty shit. Bench boost is pretty shit. 64 points is achievable.
Yeah, no, you're not out because it's a whole season. But obviously, we will give you some slack that you're 64 points behind everyone else. If you can finish within 100, I'll be really impressed.
It just, it just got pissed me off. So I was like,
it's ridiculous.
Was you really pissed off?
Do you know, strangely, I was enjoying the chase. Like, I think I was like 70 or 80 points behind Danny, but I still had like a chip that I think you had used, and I was just like, that's enough to be a swing, like a triple captain on like whenever Burnley have their quadruple game week. It could easily be a swung, but it just killed that. Like, so I'm not I'm not that bothered anymore. But at least I wasn't the guy who was like top of the league. Sorry,
you'll still be ahead of Chris, won't you?
I don't
know.
Tough week.
That'd be tough to take, yeah.
I'm pretty sure you might be.
64 points spent. I didn't even know you could spend that much. It was,
why are people doing it? Like, what?
And the worst bit, they changed the name
because they're assholes.
Yeah, it changed the name to this Twitter account, which is a fantasy football tips website, Twitter account. And the guy's like, "Oh, I've got nothing to do with it." But it's like, why did they put that Twitter account in the thing? So
yeah.
Anyway.
Right.
Well,
I think we've got.
So hold on. From now on, Mark is doing the All Talk FC subs.
Yeah, let him have it.
All right.
To be honest, no. We'll carry it. We'll still do it between us because I'm not going to be that bothered now.
Oh,
yeah, because one of the things I realized, I can't just wildcard my team back because I've lost all the value that they gained. So
yeah.
I actually can't. I can't sub most of them back because annoying.
You know, do you want to hear something funny, Mark? You're still ahead of Chris. 10 points. You're still ahead, even after scoring 3 this week. You're still ahead. That is terrible.
Bench boost, saving me.
That is so funny. Dear Chris,
you can't take life too seriously, can you?
You can't. They fantasy football do. We're not going to reinstate your points. What assholes?
The worst thing is, I was like, they were like, we can't go back to previous weeks. I was like, this is still the same game week. Just undo.
Yeah,
like,
you know what players were there. Like, just reset it.
I get in their mind, they're like, well, if we change it for you, anyone can ask us and we have to change it for them. But not really, because
they know there has been a hack. Yeah.
But then they also don't know that you didn't do it yourself to hijack your own season. But I mean,
why would you hijack it to ask to go back? Like, if you were like, oh, my account got hacked, I made 2 subs this week, then something looks suspicious.
I don't like those subs. Can I go back?
Yeah, when everything has been changed, your entire bio, name, like the kit, everything. It was like,
yeah, but also this is a lot of people that it's happening to. It's not like it's just you.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well,
we got front 3, back 4. Is that it? Yeah.
Yeah, and I've just realised I've literally prepared nothing for it. I completely forgot about front 3, back 4. We do it every single time, and I completely forgot. Let me see if I've got any old ones.
Old ones, yeah. This is the problem when you do your stupid long list. You run out of them. You got to hold them tabs.
No, you're right.
That's what I do.
Let's see what I've got.
I'm glad that our listeners will get your top quality input. Just like, hold up, let me find some crap.
Well, no, because sometimes let me list on my phone of things that are funny or interesting, but I don't even appear to have done that this week.
All right,
Look,
you
I'll go first,
Chris.
and I'll give you. Let me go first, and I'll give you time to find something online. Yeah. Do the NFL as one of them, because I ain't.
Well, I was just about to say it would be Super Bowl, so I'll just go with that.
All right, sure. In my front three this week is miracles. Miracles are in my front three because a young man who is from Sweden, a paralyzed man who had a severed spine, walks again thanks to an implant that was put in his spinal column to reconnect, and he's walking again, which is unbelievable. I actually think that, jokes aside, that's unreal. Like, that is a huge thing for the world.
Yeah, I think I reading that because this was almost my front three as well. I think I was reading 3 people have had it now.
Okay.
Maybe I was reading that earlier, but yeah, I saw there was one guy who was like the first who was on the news this week. But yeah, it's amazing. A little chip they put in his spine.
And they say it's not a cure yet, but it's certainly a big step going forward for it. Yeah, exactly. Oh, there you go. I know, and it's weird because I with like AI and stuff, people getting freaked out, and there's some people talking like people are going to be half robot, half human. People with animatronic arms. It's like it'd be so much better if we didn't give them robotic arms. This is something which is going to repair people, hopefully, especially if they need to walk. So, yeah, good stuff. In my back four related to walking, in my back four this week.
Oh no, you stole mine. I can tell.
Oh, what were you going to say?
Carry it. Is it old captain?
Oh yes. Oh, captain, my captain. No, do you want that? I can do another one.
Yeah, do another one, and then we'll.
All right, in my back four this week is emojis. Emojis. Did you see that one?
No.
There was an article that was produced that someone wrote about which skin color to use for your emojis because it's harder than you think. If a white person uses a yellow one and it's that could be a different race and they can use gold and we can use black. Basically, it's a bad thing if you use an emoji that isn't similar to your skin color.
Really? So I've never even changed any of the. I always use yellow for everything because I've never.
Yeah,
tried.
same. I occasionally use the white, but I use the yellow thumbs up. The original.
Yeah, like everything I have is yellow. I don't change it.
Would you ever think to use a brown one?
No, I guess probably not.
No.
And some people do. Some people mix it up.
Yeah, right. I've heard on other podcasts the discussion of it's racist if I've and people believe that. I've not put much thought to it. I'll be honest. It's nice of the world's troubles. Yeah, it's not.
I've literally never thought about it till this moment when you said it. I've never even thought about.
Really, we live in 2 different worlds.
Well, I would. Do you know what's weird though? If someone that I didn't know, but they responded with like a brown thumbs up, or someone responded with a white one, I would automatically assume that is their race. But actually, now you've said it, I probably shouldn't, because who knows?
You should, because it's supposed to be, isn't it?
Yeah. You should presume, and then if it's not,
look, there we go.
Why is there a need to do it though?
To be honest, I don't think there was ever a need to move away from the yellow ones.
Yeah,
because they were.
Well, that's because black people weren't represented.
So hold on, how did you get that? Because all of my thumbs up are.
Hold on.
Oh, there you go, skin tone. Oh yeah.
Like the people, I got.
Well, I can't use certain ones.
Like this one. He doesn't let you.
Yeah, this is for you.
I understood like the actual. There was a few people, weren't there, that were like.
There's always a few people. That's the point.
Inspector Gadget and stuff. I was like, oh, you can add in race to that. Fair enough. But when it was like the thumbs up, the big yellow faces, like they I thought they were just like sort of cartoon emojis. I didn't think they were meant to be realistic. Imagine they actually start putting real faces on there, like not even.
Imagine they put a nose that's too big on someone like that. Whoa!
Yeah.
Go on, Mark. Do you want to go?
Yeah. So all right. Well, you know my back four now, and it's the walk-in charity man himself, Captain Tom, but not him, but his foundation. So I don't know if you.
Did you hear about this, Dan?
No, I've literally not seen any news this week, hence why I don't have anything to talk about.
Yeah. So the Captain Tom Foundation was set up by his family. So when Captain Tom did his walk-in, it was to raise money for the NHS charities. After they set up their own foundation, and then it's had to publish its accounts. So people have looked into its accounts and seen that they've raised well over £1 million, and they've donated about 160 grand to charity. They've
Where's
actually
the rest gone?
well,
Admin.
so 162,000 has gone on consultancy fees, which is
Get
paid
out.
to a
Or
consultancy.
Mr. B. Johnson.
Worse, so actually the consultancy agency they use has been set up by Captain Tom's daughter. So
Get out.
it's her own company, and around 700k is sitting in a reserve. So they probably put it into Bitcoin and are just waiting for it to recover. So they probably.
But it wasn't all in reserve. I thought weren't they claiming that obviously went to staff and it went to marketing and stuff like that as well.
Yeah, so that's what the agency supposedly do, and there are admin fees involved, but
of course
you don't expect
90% of the donations. That's like
and
well,
the reason it's in my back
the...
four is because it's just this immediately for all those people who never have given money to charity anyway, suddenly be like, that's why I don't give to charity. This is why
that's outrageous.
All charities.
But this is common. This is common. Like, you know, when people give their money to charity, they need to understand, like, some charities overheads, they just charge so much more and the percentage is tough. And you need to find out and figure out which ones don't. They apparently there used to be this charity in America. It was for Dolphin Foundation. 95% of it was admin fees. 5% actually went to its causes. You know, people just set up these charities, but they don't tell people, or even people don't care to look. You have to be careful out there.
Yeah, and I think the easiest way is if, like this Captain Tom Foundation is a middleman. They don't do anything. They're not a charity themselves. So what they say.
Yeah, but it's an ego thing. It's people that are just like lunatics. They don't see the fact that they think, oh, it's important work that they're doing, but they are in charge of it and they need to spend their money on this, and this. It's just like, it's not true.
Yeah, and the thing is, I give money to charity, but I am quite selective what charities I give to, and I would never give to a middleman. So I'd always give to a charity who actually are the ones on the ground doing the work. But yeah, I think this is a massive knock to charities, because people will see this, will be like, oh, all charities are the same, and then there'll be people.
Well, you see GoFundMe in Canada. You see GoFundMe in Canada.
I mean, that was a fun story. I could talk about that one.
Nuts, yeah. Well, Mark, do your front four.
Yeah, my front
three.
Four. Yeah,
front three.
Front three.
One for me.
Or should I say my BBC three is back. So I'm pleased. I never liked that they took BBC Three off and made it.
Did they take it off TV?
Yeah, it hasn't been
only about 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's not been a channel for like 10 years. It's only available through iPlayer. And,
what are you talking about? It's on Sky.
Yeah, now it came back last week.
It came back last week.
No, I watched BBC Three and BBC Four.
No, you don't.
No, you can watch BBC Four. They never got rid of that, but they got rid of BBC Three for about 10 years.
It was online only, yeah.
Online only, and quite often BBC Three is the sort of starter out, like startup channel, I'd call it. It's like it's where sort of new, fresh.
Yeah. I thought that was BBC Four.
No, BBC Four's. I don't know. It's clearly not the entertainment one because I don't watch it.
It's the video 4 of the TV world.
But yeah, I'm pleased BBC Three's back.
More
not
backs.
sure there's not sure it's gonna be as good as it once was, but hopefully over time it will relive to its heights.
If it remakes anything like Gavin and Stacey, we'll be laughing. Literally.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking, because BBC Two and BBC One are pretty set. They've got their go-to shows, and as I said, I've never really watched BBC Four, and it's never really struck me as putting the comedy shows on. So yeah, I'm pleased.
Did you ever watch Channel 5?
Not
Channel 5 is like how to describe it? Maybe the Daily Mail channel. So it's like the benefits next door. how to become a council flat millionaire.
Yeah.
All it is, it's like these things going into local things and getting them angry at each other. It was like booze Britain, then it's like
Talking
trouble
of Channel
abroad.
5, talking to Channel 5, there's one of my back fours. Neighbours. Did you hear the news about Neighbours?
Yeah, they might not. They might be moving.
Well, it might be the end of Neighbours. If they can't get a buyer, then that's the end of Neighbours, because they rely on that that funding to run, because no one watches it elsewhere. It's a UK show basically. So yeah,
we watched Home and Away growing up, so I was never really a Neighbours person.
I was desperately trying to find a Home and Away pun to throw in there, but I couldn't think of anything. It was just been too bait.
That's all you do is bait puns, isn't it?
It's even better when you explain your poor attempt at a joke, Mark. Even better. All right, and then my front three is the Super Bowl this weekend. But for a particular reason, did you hear that every single advert in the halftime of Super Bowl is going to be a crypto advert? So crypto.com,
every single one.
So crypto.com and Coinbase and Binance and one of the others, they've all bought all the slots in the middle of the Super Bowl. $113 million, I think they've spent, something stupid, and they're owning the Super Bowl.
Did your company do that?
No, but there is a rumor that, because I don't know if you've seen the halftime show, the guys, Snoop Dogg and Dre and everyone that's doing
it's going to be so good. I'm looking forward to this halftime show more than anything.
All of those guys, well, 4 of the 5, I think, own a Bored Ape Yacht Club JPEG, and so they think there might be something going on with that as well, with the NFT crew, because all of those guys have one. So
we'll be watching on the BBC, so we won't see any of it.
Exactly.
No,
you won't even be watching it, Mark. So you'll be fast asleep.
We'll watch the American coverage. Oh man, I'm going to be so tired. Yeah, we'll watch the American coverage.
I've got the day off on Monday now, so we better be watching it.
Nice. We can get proper hammered. Yes.
Yeah, I just want to stay up to see the halftime show, and I don't care what happens.
Yeah. That's it, isn't it? You did it both, didn't you? Well done, Dan. Good recovery. Yeah, good stuff. Right. Thank you for talking.
You're welcome.
Let's do it again sometime.
Yeah.
Let's take
a break. Are we going on a break?
It's not you, it's me. No. Love you guys. All right. See you next week.
Yep.
Bye.
Yeah.